The lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer, or LGBTQ, community has been restricted general human rights for decades as a punishment for being unique and different from the stereotypical society we know today. Over 10 million Americans identify as part of the LGBTQ community and are affected by these worldwide conflicts. However, about half of the population do not support their rights and participate in hate and violence towards them. Members of this troubled community have lost rights such as marriage, transgender equality, gender-neutral bathrooms, and general respect. These lost rights are one of the most negatively influential aspects of America and which have affected our society dreadfully in various ways. The largest percentile of opposing parties against LGBTQ is a religious community in which they believe that same-sex relations are a sin. The gay community has been treated poorly for many years. However, they deserve the same equal rights and respect as any heterosexual couple or citizen in the society.
Same-sex marriage has been the most controversial aspect of the LGBTQ community's issues. Denying citizens the freedom to marry the person they love is a violation of fundamental freedom. To revisit our country's history, in the 1950s, interracial marriage was also illegal. However, in modern times, this law has been abolished due to the recognition of injustice. This same recognition should be applied to same-sex marriages. Religious beliefs support the idea that gay marriage is unnatural, and other parties support it that will diminish the value of marriage. However, if marriage is supposed to be a symbol of love, it is not just used for procreation. Also, according to Alex King, the legalization of same-sex marriage will decrease divorce rates, therefore proving that gay marriage will support couples who are just as happy, if not even happier, than heterosexual couples. Studies from King's article say that 50% of marriage couples file for divorce in America, resulting in the highest divorce rate. This epidemic of marital separation is due to incompatibility and infertility, and which is not a common issue for same-sex partners. It is obvious that gay marriage should be legalized to uphold the constitutional rights of every U.S. citizen. This denial of marriage is violation of basic human rights, and legalizing it will decrease divorce rates and increase society's general acceptance of the LGBTQ community.
Our first interview is with Dawn Brandon, who is currently a staff member at RIM High School. She is a member of the LGBTQ community and has even been an LGBTQ sponsor in her past. What is your experience during childhood and current times involving the LGBTQ community, and how has it affected you?
As a child, I didn't have any experience with the LGBT community. It was more of when I was teaching in Missouri at the largest high school in the state of Missouri. I was a Gay Straight Alliance sponsor, so that was my first experience. And then just in general, having friends that are in the LGBT community, and the fact that we all should be a part of the community, because if anybody believes in human rights, then they should be willing to accept the views of others and value those.
What is your opinion on gay marriage rights?
My opinion on gay marriage is that if you feel like you love a person enough to marry them, honor them, and cherish them, that you should be able to be married to that person.
What about laws concerning the rights, like all the issues involving the laws in different states?
In my opinion, it's up to the two people that are involved. My opinion is I don't feel like any legislative body should be able to tell one person or two people that they can or cannot be married, regardless of their sexual orientation.
What do you wish would change about the right to marry for the LGBTQ community?
The one thing I wish would change is that people could just accept it. People are people. People that are not for it, they need to realize that the people that they are being judgmental over could be the doctors or the teachers that are helping their kids or saving their own family member's life in the emergency room.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. Transgender people are also valid members of the LGBTQ community, in which are emphasized as more vulnerable. These U.S. citizens are specifically harassed and targeted about their individual rights. They struggle with joining the military, medical rights, gender-neutral bathrooms, and even fear death. Simply using a restroom they feel comfortable in is a right taken away from them. Apart from the LGBTQ community, these poorly treated members are attacked for their recognition of becoming a new gender. For example, in the military, a reason for banishment of transgenders is their struggle to respect and be humble to transgender people. This is simply a lack for respect towards another human and should not be tolerated and valid for transgender people to be banned from the military. Another counter-argument towards transgenders is that they are an abomination to the natural order. This violates a human's right to be classified as a human and has also cost many transgenders their lives through suicide and murder. Around 23 murders have occurred due to violent hate from people who are strongly against transgender. The persecution of transgender people is just one of the many injustices that members of the LGBTQ community people face, and if not fixed, will continue costing people their lives and slowly destroying the society around them.
Our next interview is accompanied by Oliver Reed, who is currently a student at Rim High. Oliver identifies as a transgender male and was kind enough to share his experiences with us. What challenges have you faced since you've come out?
There's many different types of struggles I faced. My family life, it got a lot worse because my parents weren't totally accepting at first of who I was, and they thought it was just going to be some phase that would pass. And socially at school, I didn't come out until the beginning of my senior year of high school because I was afraid of what people would think or people would say. And I have faced some discrimination, not much, but I have faced a lot. But I've moved past it, and I have my friends to back me up about it.
How do you feel about gender-neutral bathrooms, and do you think that they should be more available in public places?
I definitely think gender-neutral restrooms should be a thing that are more common around restaurants and public places, even in schools, because as a transgender individual, it's just a better idea because people face a lot of discrimination in bathrooms. I don't have too many bad experiences, but I do have one. School last year, I was chased out by some pretty rude guys last year in the restroom because I wanted to use the guys' restroom. But if we had a gender-neutral restroom, that wouldn't be a problem because they couldn't tell me I wasn't allowed to be there. So I do think that they're a very good idea.
What advice would you give other people that may be going through the same thing that you are right now?
Find a support group because you'll face a lot of things, and it's way better to go through them with somebody who understands, even if they don't completely understand. They'll be there for you, and they'll try and help you as much as they can. Just don't go through it alone because nobody should have to.
Well, thank you. General respect for the LGBTQ community is a characteristic that our society lacks. Protests, hate speech, denied rights, and overall discrimination are just some issues that innocent members experience. Every member of this growing community are still humans and therefore should be treated like one. If racial and religious discrimination is illegal, discrimination of people's sexual orientation should be illegal as well. As well as transgender people, the rest of the LGBTQ community experiences unnecessary violence towards them. A prime example of this is the Orlando shooting, in which a gunman opened fire on dozens of innocent LGBTQ members at a local bar. Statistics also say that around 25% of gay people experience hate crimes within their life. If heterosexual couples are not hated for loving their partner, the LGBTQ community should be no exception to that hate.
Discrimination against the LGBTQ community should no longer be tolerated in any state or province, and laws against them should be abolished. This will increase marital statistics and decrease divorce rates. Transgender people will be able to express themselves as who they are without being denied their right to serve in the military and use the appropriate restroom. These important effects will improve the general health of the society in America and promote happiness towards every human and couple. Therefore, it's imperative that members of the LGBTQ community get recognized as humans, just like everybody else, and deserve their basic human right to marriage, love, and life.
We interviewed Miss Bennett, who is the supervisor of the Gay Straight Alliance Club hosted at Rim High School. The LGBTQ+ community has been discriminated throughout the years. How do you feel about this, and what is your experience with it?
Well, I'm sad about it. I grew up in West Hollywood and in the community with, lesbians, gays, transgender. My neighbor was going through a sex change. And I personally just don't care about it at all. I don't really care. I don't think that your sexuality should be an issue. And I'm really hoping that before I die, it's not an issue. I don't have to talk about the fact that I'm heterosexual. Why would you? I just hope that at some point people can get to the place where they don't have to even think about the fact that they're gay. Who cares? I just don't care. I don't think it really matters. So I'm really saddened to hear that that's still going on, because in my world it doesn't go on. And I wanted to share too, when I was growing up, I was actually made fun of because I'm heterosexual. And I'm also monogamous. So I never fooled around a lot. And so I know what it feels like to be picked on. So within that community, believe it or not, there were a few people who thought I should loosen up and be something that I wasn't. And I think you should be who you are. Just be who you are. And that's pretty much it.
Well, thank you.
Okay.